Careful what you wish for. Synopsis. Erotic thriller starring Nick Jonas, Isabel Lucas, and Dermot Mulroney. The film is directed by Elizabeth Allen Rosenbaum. Plot. A boy named Nick Jonas, no lie, his name is Doug Martin, spends the summer with his parents at their lake house. Then, a wealthy banker, Elliot Harper, who is none other than the protagonist of the film My Best Friend's Wedding, comes to live next door. As you might imagine, Elliot is super rich and has a super beautiful wife. Obviously, Doug immediately has wet dreams about Elliot's young wife, who knows if he even repainted the bathroom walls. Elliot hires Doug to work on his sailboat, and this gives him an excuse to interact with Lena, his fiery wife. Incidentally, she's often alone because Elliot travels on business. And life is kind to Doug, making him feel all the hardships he'd been building up for years, as he was still a virgin, so they begin an affair, and Doug finds a good case to sheath his weapon. Lena buys prepaid cell phones to communicate and constantly tells Doug about Elliot's possessive, jealous, and violent nature. When Lena shows signs of physical abuse, she claims it's Elliot's doing. One night, Lena calls Doug at her home, where she finds Elliot dead on the floor. Lena claims he attacked her and that she accidentally killed him when he fought back. After much concern on Doug's part, Lena convinces him to help her cover up his involvement in Elliot's death. Shortly after, an insurance investigator named Angie Alvarez appears to investigate Elliot's death. Due to the large $10 million settlement Lena is now set to receive from his life insurance. Suspicion quickly falls on Doug, and he becomes unnerved by the growing attention on him from both Angie and the town sheriff. Eventually, he realizes that Lena has been manipulating him all along, intending to frame him for Elliot's murder. She claims that, rather than a consensual affair, Doug had been stalking and raping her, and then killed Elliot in a fit of jealousy. And with this, you can realize that Elliot, despite making him look violent, never attacked his wife. No matter what you thought you saw on screen, that never happened, and they were just lies from Lena to convince Doug to get involved in the crime. Doug's attempts to prove his innocence are thwarted at every turn, presumably by Lena. For example, a Harper gardener who had seen Doug and Lena together is found murdered before the police can speak to him. And so far, if you still doubted that Lena was manipulative, deceitful, and malicious, well, how innocent you are. With the police ready to arrest Doug and Lena having received the insurance money, Doug follows her to a hotel where she's staying with Angie, intending to recover one of the prepaid cell phones he and Lena used as evidence. It's there that Doug realizes that Angie is actually Lena's lover and has been her accomplice all along. Yes, I know, this sounds like a Netflix script, so this company isn't even original in this, it's just copying what others have already done. At first, it seems Lena will let Doug rot in jail, but in a moment of, who knows, remorse, in a gesture of pity, she decides to leave Doug her cell phone, which contains the exculpatory evidence he needs. Angie and Lena flee the country on a private plane. En la voz en off final, Doug explica como finalmente lo enviaron a prisión, pero con cargos menores por un corto periodo de tiempo. Lena y Angie siguen prófugas. Doug se pregunta si volvería a hacerlo todo de nuevo. Comments. On the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a 17% approval rating based on 24 reviews. The site's critical consensus reads, "Audiences yearning for a modern take on the erotic thriller will be sorely disappointed by this pompous remake, weighed down by a bland plot and a curious lack of sensuality. I wonder what hole in the planet Lena and her girlfriend are going to hide in so the law doesn't find her and extradite her to the US. You tell me, and it's certain they won't keep a low profile. I'll leave that question to you." The reviews from those who've already seen the film aren't great, but in my opinion, it's a fun time. The truth is, it's not as erotic as advertised. The plot isn't as intriguing or enigmatic as its creators and director believed, but it does feature good performances from young Jonas and Julia Roberts' best friend. It's all goodbye.